On paper, your life probably looks pretty good. You did what you were supposed to do. You got the job, the apartment, the routine. You followed the plan. And yet, underneath all of it, there's a quiet, persistent emptiness. Like you arrived at a destination you spent years trying to reach, only to realize you aren't sure you actually want to be here. This diagram illustrates what psychologists call the hedonic treadmill. Your emotional system is highly adaptive. It was designed to prevent complacency, keeping you running toward the next promotion or the next milestone. It is a system built for survival, not for lasting contentment, because happiness was never stored in those external achievements to begin with. Over the next 5 minutes, we are going to build a 5-step authentic action plan to help you find your way out of this cycle. I want you to pause this video right now, get a pen and a piece of paper, and write that title at the top of the page. You aren't greedy and you aren't broken. Feeling lost inside a life that looks complete from the outside is simply the necessary first step to drawing a map that actually belongs to you. Step 1 is the subtraction audit. When you feel empty, the instinct is to add more to your plate, more goals, more achievements. That rarely works. The first move is actually to remove something you are doing strictly out of obligation or performance. Write down one specific habit or commitment that you maintain purely for the sake of appearances, and physically cross it out. Now we move to step 2. Identify your values, not your goals. As we see here, there is a distinct difference between a destination and a direction. Goals are destinations. They are checkboxes, like a degree or a job title, and once you achieve them, they are done. Values are ongoing qualities, like creativity, peace, or intellectual challenge. They are directions you choose to travel in, and they can never actually be completed. Decades ago, the philosopher Erich Fromm described a concept he called the marketing orientation. He observed that when a person shapes their entire life around what is rewarded by the market and society, rather than what aligns with their own deepest nature, they end up with a life that is highly successful on the outside and entirely hollow on the inside. To find what actually matters to you, sit unhurriedly with these 3 questions. 1. When do I lose track of time? 2. What moments make me feel most alive? And 3. What kind of person do I most respect? Your answers to these prompts point directly toward your values. Look at what you've come up with and write down 2 core abstract values on your paper. Defining these values shifts your metric for success. You stop measuring yourself against an impossible final endpoint and start evaluating the lived reality of your ordinary daily journey. Step 3 is reconnecting with who you were before you were handed a script. When your identity becomes completely fused with what you produce or what role you hold, psychologists call it enmeshment. Strip away the job title and the resume, and many people are left wondering who they actually are. Think back to before the career pressures and societal expectations told you what to want. What did you love to do just for the sake of doing it? What made you genuinely curious? Take a moment and write that lost interest down on your page. This brings us to step 4. Allow the grief. Realizing you have spent years climbing someone else's ladder requires mourning the time and effort you poured into the wrong direction. On your paper, write down a single sentence formally releasing your pursuit of that old script. This is not an act of self-pity. It is a necessary, mechanical step to detach from your past sunk costs so you can clear the slate for authentic action. Finally, step 5. Make one authentic choice daily. Resist the temptation to attempt a massive life overhaul or a dramatic career pivot right now. Instead, combine your core value from step 2 with your pre-script interest from step 3. Use them to formulate one very small, low-friction action that you can take tomorrow. Schedule it directly on your page, making sure the task is highly specific and measurable. An authentic life is not built in sudden leaps. It is constructed through the quiet accumulation of tiny, value-aligned choices made on an ordinary Tuesday. Look at the physical piece of paper in front of you. You now have a clear outline of what to subtract, the values to aim toward, your unscripted self, an acknowledgement of the past, and a specific action for tomorrow. You have already proven that you can show up, work hard, and succeed on someone else's terms. You have the discipline. The philosopher Socrates famously said that the unexamined life is not worth living.
perhaps it is also true that the unexamined goal is not worth achieving. Place this piece of paper somewhere you will see it every day and execute that one small action tomorrow morning. Because the moment you dare to ask what success looks like on your own terms is the exact moment that lostness becomes direction.